Happy almost New Year. Super, super excited. It's almost a new year because I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that this video gets out to you before tomorrow. So this will be the last forecast video for the year, and I'm super excited to start the new year and see what this year's Forex journey is going to look like. I am super hopeful to expect a lot of really good things, a lot of good lessons, some better learned things to help us get to a better place and essentially get to the goals in which we're trying to achieve. So I am gonna make two videos, I do believe, today. This one is gonna be the normal weekly forecast. Didn't do the last forecast because it was a holiday and everybody was spending time with their family, as was I. So I wanted to leave space for that. But I also want to make sure that you get a Forex goals video. Now, whether the Forex goals video goes out today, may not. I may put the Forex goals video out by Thursday, but I will definitely create it. We'll just have to see what happens at the end of this one. So let's just go ahead and jump in. I plan to this year keep my pairs the same. I guess one of the hints that you're going to hear on the Forex goals video for 2023 is that I'm going to be sticking to lower time frames this year. I think last year I would typically use like the daily as my go-to, or even like the monthly to start from. And I want to start I'm going to use the daily, but only for direction determination only. So I will use the daily to say, okay, well, price is obviously here, headed upward. So I'm going to use the daily for that, but I'm not going to use the daily for confluence. I'm also not going to use the daily to see minor structure. I'm going to just use it simply for the direction determination, and then I'll be using the 4 hour and 1 hour for confluence, and then the 15-minute for execution. That's what I'm working on. Another thing I kind of want to go over in maybe a future video is how long should you use a specific strategy until you figure out whether it is the perfect strategy or not perfect. None of them are going to be perfect, but a good strategy for you to keep using, or should you move on to another one? So we'll definitely get into that this year coming as well. So let's just get started. We're going to start with AU. I've already kind of put my tags on which ones that I'm really, really interested in. But again, because it is the new year, I'm going to just have to, keep an eye on it and see exactly what happens. So for right now on AU, I don't even know exactly what the news is as of yet. And that's because, we're coming up on a holiday. So let's actually just pull that up real quick. I should have had that pre-loaded, but not a problem. Let's just pull it up. Make sure every time, or any time rather, you're using your Forex Factory for news information, make sure that your time is correct. And the way that you do that is, if it's wrong, you just go in here and make your changes to wherever you may be so that it's right. Because if it's wrong, especially when it's active, the weekend is not as much, but during the week when you're using that to kind of help you navigate, you want to make sure that this time is matching this time. And that's like a minute off, but you get the script. Okay, so let's see. Sunday is going to be a bank holiday. I still want to make sure that you get this video in enough time to analyze and go through and mark up your chart as necessary. So we'll kind of treat today as though, I guess you could say, is a Friday, and then tomorrow we'll treat like a Saturday, and then Monday will come, and then we'll be kind of back on track. There are still some holidays that we're looking at. So with these gray folders, we are looking at a few holidays on the in-between, but the market will still move a bit on Monday. Maybe not as fast as it normally would on a Monday, but it's still going to move. So we'll just wait and see what's happening. We are going to get some news on Chef, which looks like the Swiss franc rather, on Wednesday. So we'll be looking out for that, especially with it being at the beginning of the year, beginning of the month. We're going to see some pretty volatile news probably coming up in the next week or so. But we are going to see some news for US, looks like, as well as Thursday and on Friday. So yeah, again, it's going to be kind of a heavy week because we're the first of the year and the first of the month. So we'll see and keep checking in on that. So heading back here, we're going to use, or I'm planning to use rather, my daily as my direction determination. So as of right now, it looks like it looks like we're headed up. I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and I'll even go ahead and exit that out, and I'll probably get rid of this later, but I'm going to keep it there for now. Right now, it's looking pretty good. We are right kind of in the middle of the EMA channel, the low and the high EMA channel. So I'm curious to see exactly what's going to happen. I have an inkling that it could potentially come back, maybe make it to maybe here-ish, then maybe come back down and then retest. Because I do feel like it looks like it's going in an upward direction. But we'll just be using the daily just to peak. We'll be using the 4 hour and the 1 hour, or I will be using the 4 hour and the 1 hour for the confluence. So basically seeing if we're looking like we're going in the same direction, what's price doing? Is it moving the same? Is market structure the same on both the 4 hour and the 1 hour? When it comes down to how price is moving. So as of right now, this looks really good. The fact that it's sitting up here looks really good. I would just need to see a close. So we've already gotten the break through a major level. I would like to see it, well, it technically has closed. So we got a close here. This happened on Friday. And then I would like to see a new candle starting to form. And I'm probably even going to wait for a close. So I would wait for a new candle to form, a close, and then I'm going to go ahead and get in for the upswing. And we can probably look to see some retracement around this area, and then we'll kind of go from there. But again, I'm going to be executing on a 15-minute chart just so I can get somewhat of a more snipered entry. Stop loss goes just below here. Let me snag that for you real quick. Let's see. Let's just stop loss just below. But one thing that I am learning, sometimes I feel like I need to learn a million times before I actually get the point. But what I am learning is that you need to leave room. Actually, make this a little bit bigger. You need to leave a little bit of room for retracement, because if you don't, I've been stopped out so many times on the fact that it's gotten to that point or past that point, and then I'm upset because I'm like, I knew better. I know better. I knew that I was supposed to leave a little more room for the trade to breathe. So this is somewhat of what it's going to look like for me. We could even squeeze it a little bit and get to there. So that's what. That's good. That's like a 3 to 1. That's pretty good. And then as price moves, so this is something that I talked about on my previous videos. As price moves into those other levels, and you can see it from previous price action where price has moved. So like, let's say, okay, we're sitting here, I'm waiting for price to get up. Price gets to above here. I'm gonna move my stop loss into break even. But even after I've broken it or moved my stop loss into break even, I'm waiting for it to get above here. Once it gets above here, okay, cool. Once it gets above here, I'm gonna be moving my stop. There is not gonna be a stop loss. I should rephrase. There is gonna be a stop loss, but at this point, not only is it gonna be in break even, it's gonna be in profit. So I'm gonna move my stop loss to about here, just so that way I can lock in some of that profit before I lose it if price decides to go in the other direction. So that's what I'm kind of looking at when it comes down to AU for this. This is going to be somewhat of my setup for the next week. Part of the reason why I want to use a little bit lower of a time frame is because I want to see a little more profit a little quicker. So that's partly why I'm planning on doing it that way. A little bit of scalping on just a lower time frame. So we'll see. Because I'm probably not going to do multiple like scalpers normally do, but it will be on a slightly lower time frame. So there's that. Let's jump on over. Sorry, you know what? You guys can't even see what I'm on. Okay, so this is EU. Let's see. So we're gonna go to the daily on EU. Let's see what we're looking at here. Okay, So based on the daily, looking at direction, and you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, I want to kind of go back here. We're actually still in the middle of the channel, which is fine, not a problem. Better confluences when we're up underneath. But anyway, right here on EU, we are up underneath the EMA. So I'm watching for that. However, I am going to be kind of watching and waiting to see what happens here on price. When price gets up here, breaks through, has a close above the breakthrough, then I'll be looking at taking a position in the long. But until price gets there, I'm not going to be doing much. But just for the sake of whatever, let's just say that this is what the setup is somewhat going to look like. So let's pretend, actually, let me help you pretend it a little bit better. Let's pretend that there is a stick. There is a stick. Don't judge my drawing. There's another stick. And let's say we got like a close, okay? So that's what we're going to use for our confluence. So I am actually going to use this level sitting right here in the gray. I'm going to use that as my stop loss, or as my oh my gosh, yeah, like as my stop loss. That's where I'm going to be placing my stop loss at. So we'll set it something to that effect. And even because I am working on allowing more space, I would even do it a little something like that. And then and I'm setting it up on the daily, which I said I wasn't going to do. So let's just jump on down here real quick, and I'm gonna fix this real quick for you so it looks a little more manageable and easier to read. Oopsie doodle. Okay, let me go to the 1 hour. Even on the 1 hour, I think I'm gonna actually use the 15-minute, like I said, because we're sticking to what we said we were gonna do, right? Being people of our word, right? All right, so let me grab one of these. Boom. Just jump back, make some adjustments. Actually, yeah, grab some candlesticks for you. Okay. So on the 15-minute, this looks like a lot of time, but it's just a 15-minute. So once we start getting up here, we get a close above, and a new candle is starting to form. That is going to be clutch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come straight down here, give it some room. Okay. Come up here. It's a little harder for me to see like the top part of that. So let me just go back to the 4 hour so I can get an idea as to where it needs to be placed at. So that guy over, I need to see where I look in the past to see where my next take profit needs to be. So my take profit is going to be right here. So let's see. Let's scoop this guy up because that's where price was previously at. So perfect. Okay. And what's that? Maybe this is a little bit big because we still are going to be in there. Okay. So what's that? About a 2 to 1 ratio. Not bad. Okay. So this is what my setup would look like for EU. Again, looking at the news, waiting to see. That's why it's not tagged, because I'm waiting to see exactly what's going to happen before I decide to take a position. I need to see some type of surety that it's going to not fight this area, because it has done that in the past, so a few times. So like, I'm like, if we scroll back in the past, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times it rejected this area and just continued in a bearish direction. So we'll just have to wait and see. That's going to be the setup for EU. So let's scoot on over to UJ real quick. UJ is like beautiful. This thing is like lower low, lower high. It's just perfect. Like, look at how perfect Anyway, that's some nerd shit for you, but it's just if you know, you know the way that it's just capturing the levels and the way that the price is moving. It's like lower low, lower high, lower low. It's perfect. And it just, the way that it goes in the line, let me try to get a brush tool here. So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, shooting up for that second or that third lower high. Price looks just amazing here. So with price looking the way that it's looking, more than likely, let's try on the daily. This is perfect. This is just, now we could see a couple different things. It could potentially, well, I thought at one point it was starting to make another shoulder, for the head and shoulder pattern. So then we'd be looking at the pattern in regards to something like this. Here would be the shoulder. This is the neckline right down here. And then we'd be looking at the head, boom. And then I thought we were going to make another shoulder or something like that there. So that's what it kind of looks like to me. But on the daily, you can already see, okay, so in the past it has rejected here. Again, on the daily, we're just looking for direction. So take that into account, but don't play too much into this. But it has rejected here. So what we're looking for here, let me go to the 4. I just can't believe how perfect it looks, like art. Like I listened to another trader and took the course that the trader offers, and this trader would often say how the market is art, and it very much is. And I think after being in it for a while, you start to see the art, the pattern. Okay, so let me get down here. So this more than likely is where we seen that dip at on the daily, more than likely, because this was the last kind of dip below. So with that being said, let me make it a little bit bigger so we can see a little bit better. And I'm going to try to hurry up so that the video is not super crazy. Or maybe even this one. Okay, so right now I am waiting. I'm actually not. Let's see. Let's get this open. Yeah, what I'd be waiting for is for price. And it looks like it's, if these were in color, this would be a blue candle. This very last one, it closed in a bullish direction. So what I'd be looking for, and it doesn't always happen, keep that in mind too, but it's helpful to have for a retest. I'm looking for price to come back to this area, do somewhat of a retest, and then I'd be looking to short the market. So let's see. The setup would look something like, do we want to do, yeah, we do want to do this. But we can set it up still on the 4 hour. Short. Oops, that's long. Gotta change it. Short. Okay, so we would be, I'm gonna keep it on the 4 hour. Ooh. And we will bring this all the way down here. I'm gonna squeeze in a bit more just so I can see what is going on. But in the meantime, price looks so good, like super, like I would cut it. Just to be safe, I would probably cut price right about here, which is awesome. So that's like a 4-to-1 risk to reward. So let's get this open a little bit further. Sorry, this is going to be a long ass video. You know what? Because it's the start of the year video, it's going to be a little bit longer. All right, so probably safe to keep it just above there, just to give it a little more space in case it wants to go back, which would keep us at a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And like I said, price is still looking super good. We're just gonna have to see what it plans to do, but this essentially would be my setup for UJ. Moving on pretty quickly to GBP, let's take a look. Daily. Let's get out a bit, take a look. This one I didn't have marked up just yet, but it does look like we're sitting literally right in the middle of the channel of the EMA, high and low, which is not a bad thing. We'll just have to see what happens technically when price opens up again, which direction it goes. We could actually use a little bit of a level. Oh, I just seen it. Dagnabbit. I would say that right here. Yeah. So that's a good level. So now we'll be just waiting to see what price is going to do, if it's going to get past this level or if it's going to continue to keep testing this area and then head back down. Not going to be doing anything with GU just yet until I can see some type of confluence as to where it's going to go. So again, we don't want to be marking up our chart. It's going to be so challenging for me to do this, but we don't want to be marking up our chart. So yeah, we're waiting to see what price is going to do and if it manages to break through. If it manages to break through, then we could possibly see some consolidation in this area, only because that's kind of what's happened in the past. And then we have a level that could be sitting potentially right here that it could fight against. If it doesn't break through, then we could potentially see price retrace in this area, so right around here, and then possibly get here, and then we'll wait to see what price does when it gets here, if it wants to consolidate a bit, or if it wants to continue to break through, or it can completely go in the other direction and we just fucked it all up. So we'll just have to see. But in this situation, I'm not going to do a setup, only because price has been tried a few times here. I still don't know what's going to happen or how this is going to look once price gets moving again. I can't even say what my bet is going to be, because I can strongly see some type of consolidation happening. So just whatever direction you decide to go in, make sure that you set a stop loss. Stop loss goes just below here. I would probably put my take profit just here, just so that you're not stuck in consolidation and waiting for your profit to be taken. That's probably only going to give you a 1-to-1. And I don't really be messing with 1-to-1s, but you know, to each their own. So that would be if I was going in a long direction. If I was going in a short direction, stop loss would start about right here, just above. Take profit. First take profit would probably be about right here, but I would probably put my take profit about right here, just because price had continued. And then wait to see if price continues down. That way your next take profit will be here. And then that one will be so much more worth it. If it goes in the bearish direction, it'll be so much more worth it. So that is it for today. I hope that this was helpful. Please leave me any comments, and also make sure that you check out the rest of the other videos, as they are helpful too. Get after it.